So in this story, what I see is shout out to all of you, 14 of you watching me live right now, and to hundreds of you that will watch this later. Let me know in the comment when you do come back later that you were here to watch the replay. Let me say this to you, okay? It's not a question if the story is true. We know that story was painted in a way to make him look innocent. It's as simple as that, okay? But usually with these issues, they are laced with truth, all different types of versions of truth, right? Which is why some people will say, well, some people are going through that. Yeah, I know that. Okay. However, I'm calling cap on throwing all of the children into a box. One of the children were born in 2018. That's 6 years ago. The children, a 6 years old child cannot. What about that one? That one is against you too. So there's a lot going on there. I do believe in the depression part of it. I believe that pride played a big part in this. Yes, on her part as well, because it's very difficult, especially if you're trying to help someone, right? And they don't want to seek help, or they don't want to use your help, or they're too prideful to get your help. Pride will take you on as well, right? It's just what it is. It will take you on. And then if you, in a typical woman, if she's doing better than you and you're overreacting to the fact that she's doing better than you, every single ounce of her behavior is going to come off as pride, particularly to a person that's feeling depressed. It just makes sense, right? So at some point, somebody needs to shut everything down. And I prefer that it's person that's complaining, right? So in this case right now, she's gone. Unfortunately, sadly, the person that would be complaining or trying to paint this picture as the person talking, and they're probably going to tell more on themselves. Because if it was a lawyer listening to this story, they're going to be like, okay, all right, this is off the record. They said this one is off the record. Tell me this, that. Okay, some things are on the record. The police will tell you, well, you have the right to remain silent because everything you say shall be used against you. Shall be used against you, right? Why? Because they know you're probably going to do shalaye and explaining with no evidence.
We go explain because no evidence.
Right? That's why they said shut up. But somebody who is stupid enough is still going out there to put out a stupid story on Nairaland trying to paint the deceased as bad. Even if she was bad when she was here, she's no longer here. Could make sense. It makes no sense. It's wrong. Go wrong now. Right? Because there's no justice that will ever be good enough for that. Right? But let's rewind the times back to before August 26. If you find yourself in that situation, gentlemen, your wife is moving like she's prideful. That's how you see it, at least. And that's all that matters. That's how you see it, that's how you see it. How I see it is different. But what I can tell you is that you might want to check your mindset, because that is your wife, not my wife. Right? What is it that you can flip on the head? Right? Because your interpretations of the event of life will drive your next move, will determine the next best move. Right? Life events are happening every time. Somebody is looking on the other side, is looking at it half glass full, the other person is looking at half glass empty. Right? There's one of those or somewhere in between that will help you with the next best move, so you don't destroy yourself in the process. Right? Suru, laughing shoko obìnrin, especially if she's making more money than you. Right? That's temporary, by the way. No condition is permanent. But if you believe that's permanent, you will move mad. You will move mad. Right? How can you add value to that situation? She's making a whole lot of money. That usually means that she has more problems than you. More money, more problems. You never heard that before? So how can you add value? That means there's more ways you can add value to her life. Just not the way you were taught in Ogbomo show. That's all. It's just not that way that you were taught in Oshogbo. Now you have to rethink. You need to renew your mind. You have to retrain yourself. Like, well, somebody has more money. Good for her. Good for us. Because that means there's more ways I can add value to her life. No, but she's not letting me into her life. Like, calm down. You haven't even taken the time to assess what we're talking about. Go and take 3 days to think about it first before you argue with your destiny. Go and take 3 days. There's no way you're going to identify how you're going to add value to her if you've already found yourself in a funky place where you're feeling depressed, where you're feeling like the whole world is against you. You're not going to figure that out right now. First thing first, know that when a person has more money, they have more problems than you. Right? And if they're in a relationship with you, that means you can help them. You just need to identify how you're going to help them, though. Okay? In a way that they will, if it's actually helping them, they will be receptive of it. If it's just your own idea of helping them, they might not be receptive of it. In that way, you have to go back to the drawing board and withdraw. Listen, active listening. Right? If there's been damages in the past, you've overreacted, it's going to take you a little bit extra work for them to be able to trust you again. It just makes sense. Okay? Okay, maybe not. Okay, maybe that's common sense. Okay. But get some sense. It's going to take a little bit extra work. Okay? If the trust has been broken, if there has been betrayal, right? But if they are a human being, if that person is a human being, they have something they care about. There's a problem they're trying to solve right now. They will break into pieces. If you become value to them, if you look like value to them, they will eat it up. They will eat you all up like Indomie. But that's your homework. How are you going to become valuable to them? That's seduction. That's going to inevitably create attraction. If you understand attraction as energy, okay, it takes time, process, patience, right? Start by not being so defensive when it comes to these topics. If your result is not what you're looking for, there's a reason. Okay, a lot of it is probably your ignorance. You just don't know what you don't know. It is what it is. You don't know what you don't know. Right? Your solutions are not going to be talking points. They're not going to be things like respect, submission, divorce is not an option. No, it's going to take you a little bit more than that. Than just talking. You have to demonstrate these things in action. Because people, that's what they're watching at the end of the day, right? Their feelings, your action. Their feelings, your actions. That's it. All the rest of it is just shalaye.
Explain, because no evidence.
All right? That's all I have for you today. That's it. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one.